Good morning, everyone. All right. So we're able to get above the resistance area yesterday. Not bad. And it couldn't get up to the next level. So look, we move things up to the next major resistance level. And I've kind of got things in between here. You can see there. So the major resistance level, and we got a cluster of pivots up there. So it's kind of a wide area, but we go with the first one. The minor is the low that it break down from, but that's pretty subjective, and you can see it was lined up with those other pivots. So things are pulling back a little bit here, as you can see. Um, you know, let's call it up here around 57.50-ish on the futures. It's where this cluster of opens and closes are. Oh yeah, charts would help, right? Charts would help. There you go. Sorry about that. So it's where this cluster. So here's a rule from the course as we get into detailed price analysis. When you're looking at one time frame, like you're swing trading, and you see a cluster of opens and closes together, close, open, and they're clustered in that area, you're going to find a base in a smaller time frame. So just being aware of that. You say, okay, if I look at that area, that smaller time frame, I'm going to find a base. So when you look at the higher time frame and you see that cluster opens and closes, you're going to find a consolidation in a smaller time frame. So now things are stalled, and economic data, I think it's already out. I'm just checking. 9:15, in a few minutes, there'll be industrial production, and some auction at 11:30, 1 o'clock. So where are we at now? Well, two things that could happen. So the theme, on the slide said, up 2 days in a row, and this target level is in sight for tomorrow. Maybe so. So maybe we're going to get up there, and the target area you'll see on SPX is up near the 200, which is where this lines up, give or take. But maybe this stall here today, while it's pulling back, is a good thing in that it forms a W pattern. And I don't know what's going to happen, right? But sometimes where things are bullish, turn bullish, and buyers are enthusiastic, it just rips 3 days in a row up to the first resistance area. So as this is stalling here and it hasn't gotten up there, let's just assume for a moment that this continues to consolidate and deteriorate today, and maybe it comes down somewhere in this area. I'll just put that there and put it on the charts. And it declines down to, what is that? Yesterday's low. And so from there, ahead of the Fed meeting tomorrow, it comes down and forms a W pattern, which I think, look, we'd love to see things just rip higher several days in a row and take advantage of that. But maybe it comes down here and builds that larger area of support. I'm just, talking like, okay, maybe this is in the cards now that I see this little bit of a red bar, and it's really early in the day, and you could recover and rip back up again to that first target area. But if it just come down here and it creates this larger area of support, and our internals get a little more cooked, this is good. This isn't coming into the lower bands, and maybe this comes down, makes a higher low, and this makes a lower low. That's just the kind of stuff that happens over the years. We'll see what unfolds today, of course, and going into tomorrow. As we start out today, things are pulling back a little bit, and we could say, okay, I'm just looking at the same area there as I've dragged the little green area up. What was resistance should become support. I see a little bottoming tail bar over here, and you read all charts the same way or all instruments the same way. So coming down into this area is where I'd look for prices to stabilize, and then I'd go to my 5-minute chart and look for some kind of bottoming pattern, and then we'd consider going long and see if it recovers, and if it doesn't and it breaks down, we'll just assess that as it unfolds. That's what we do. NASDAQ, same story, coming up toward that resistance, and I can grab that. Sometimes these things are so difficult to grab a hold of. I don't know why. Anyway, I'm not going to mess with it. So it's the same story. Things are pulling back here. We'll see how far they pull back, what they're going to do. Right. Dow, something going on with eSignal. They're not on my other computer this way, but anyway, that didn't have any gap, as you can see on the 65-minute. But this is up into the resistance area. It's been showing relative weakness. So if this begins to deteriorate, see if it forms a W. What is this watch? I have to check. I think we're switching to the other contract this week. Yeah. Okay. My other platform, the Ninja, does it automatically for me. All right. So same story. Resistance, cluster of congestion over there on the Russell, pulling back. Same story. Gold, new all-time highs. And pushing up there. Silver. And it looks great. Coming up to resistance, Dan. The SIL trade. Maybe it's worth taking the money. Whatever. These things look like they're going to go higher, but yeah. So oil up a little bit. Seeing it pulling in here. It's just an obvious place where buyers were going to show up, right? I can't go a day without saying it, so just bear with me. I'm going to say it. Just look to the left, right? Take all the bullshit off your chart, right? The trend lines, the VWAPs, the fib lines. Just look over there. It's right on your chart. Nothing proprietary about it, right? There were buyers there before. There's going to be buyers there again. Apply your bar by bar. Look at what the trend is. In this case, it's then a downtrend. So, it's the kind of setup where you see, support there, bottoming action. Think about a put spread, deteriorating, expiring in whatever, a few days, or, it's your choice. Those are the kind of scenarios that are good for credit spreads. All right. Interest rates, just kind of hanging out there, waiting for the Fed meeting, I suppose. But that came down to that support level on the weekly, that measured move we spoke about a month or so ago, that played out. And, it's just marking time here, waiting for news. The markets are just marking time today. Yesterday was good. Transports, you know, big move, big move. No significant slowing in momentum yet. And this is why a move down would be good. Well, not it'd be better if it just went up another day, be easier money, right? But if it was to turn down and come down, and even it made a lower low and form a W, we've got a bigger base in the area of this long-term support, which would create a larger opportunity for a trending move up to, somewhere up here. So today's going to be kind of a let's see day. I mean, by the time the open comes, it might be, back off to the races again. Right now, it looks like what I'm saying. All right. Other things did okay yesterday, little bounces, nothing of great significance. That's been killed. If you look at, like Meta, that didn't do much. So the FANGs didn't do really anything fantastic yesterday. I mean, this outperformed a bit, it's almost up to its 20, but, now you can see it's gapping down here. So a little negativity pre-market, tech bounced a little bit, and I'm telling you, I think it's good that the markets might pull back if that's in the cards today and do a retest reversal pattern because that's going to just present not only no-brainer put spreads that, you know, take it with a grain of salt. If you normally do two contracts, do three, right? You get a little bit more aggressive and with the longs and so on, maybe debit spreads. We just have to see how it plays out. Well, financials had a good day yesterday. Things are open a little bit lower. Um, Mid caps, same story. You know, didn't quite get down to support. And what we do from there is let's go and look and as we look at these different sectors and look at different stocks within them. So here's interesting. Here I put a note on my chart of Lennar, and I'm going to put one on this chart too yesterday. And so there was an article, and it was in the news about the something about home builders. I have to look on my chart. I forget what it says on my other system here and see what it says. I can tell you exactly what it says. You note. Home builder sentiment plunges. All right. Well, that would make sense. I mean, it was from up here and went all the way down here, and it's on this major support, and it broke through it, and now it's stabilizing. So maybe it begins to stabilizes here. Interest rates have come down. So I put those kind of stuff on my charts just to reinforce how news comes out, and it could be the low of the move. We'll see. All right, SPX, and I'm done. So we see it's gapping down a little bit more than 50% into yesterday's range. So a little bit bearish, and that would suggest a greater likelihood that if it does go up today, and so one of the things that you can look at day to day is average true range. And just say, what is the average true range over the course of, say, 5 days or so? Whatever you pick. And I say, well, if it's whatever amount of points, and this is gapping down here, the average true range is X. And if the range today was that again and it went up, how far would it move up? You can't, you know what I'm saying? It's like saying, so more common sense, like, okay, if the average true range, and I could put something on here to tell me what it is on this chart here. Anyway, let's just say from here right to there, whatever it is, let's just call it 1.5. Well, if from this point it went up 1.5, and let's just say 1.75, would it get to the 200? And if it did, it would be into a significant resistance area and likely to stall there. That could be my target or a call spread. Or as a day trader, if I saw a double top on a 5-minute chart, I could short it. Right? Okay, so Steve's telling me the average true range is 122 points from there. So I know it's opening up here. And it's opening up about there at 565. So if I start here at 565 and I go up, I got to put 100. I got to put points on there. And if I put points on there, bar distance price ruler, 5 points. Let me take percentage off of there. 0. Okay, bar distance. So 5 points. Is that right? So I use a 5-day, 122 points. Well, okay, over 14 days. So if you do it on 5 days, it's about 103. This is not right. This number that it's showing me, value to the nearest tick. That's not right. Percent round, show price and time. I got to figure this out. Anyway, you get what I mean. You get what I mean as far as looking at average true range. I'm trying to find out there's a setting in there. So if I just eyeball this, right? If I just eyeball it as to what the range is, and let's say I take this one and I go like this and I make it a little bit bigger, right? Sometimes a little common sense. And I put this up here like that at around 165. It would put it right in the area of the 200 MA. Okay. And so That being said, I've got on a bullish day from where it is right now. It could change from the, where it is at the open at 9:30. And I'm projecting on average where this could escalate to, barring any unknown news, it would put it in the area of the 200 MA from where it's starting. Right. So if it was opening up even or slightly up, it would be more than that, right? Common sense. Okay. So now we go to SPX. And similarly, we think the same thing. I don't have to draw it out. I've already got today's strikes on there. I looked at it before and I can just double check. 35. Well, that declined quite a bit on that little drop. Oh, wait, no. The 45 is 45. I had 45. So we got to make it 50. Before it was a little higher. These things move a lot, right? So these are starting points. So we make it 50, and that's a good number. And so it's opening up here. And if we project the line down, right, it's never going to get there today unless some news comes out. And that's the unknown. Right? So is it going to get up to here? 57. That's okay. All right. So same thing. Is it going to get up to there? It might. It might get up to there. So this is your no-brainer. Right down. But if it dips a little bit, this will come down. And so with any kind of trading, you have to make adjustments intraday for that kind of trade. If it was a swing trade and you got to set up, you buy it where you buy it and you manage it. But for here, as far as credit spreads goes, I look at where there's premium, I look at where there's support and resistance, I look at where there's an average range, I look at whole numbers, and there you go. You have a probability setup as to which one makes sense. All yours, Dan.
Well, that double bottom scenario would be fantastic with a new low plus in the broader markets there. So we were fully bullish into the close Friday and yesterday. And the question was, all right, how far are we going to go? We didn't say much, but they still had a void on the hourly, and the market will tell us how far it wants to go. I said yesterday we could gap under today's low. Who the heck knows? We're in management mode. Same answer, but with the gap down, obviously in no hurry whatsoever. Do much here. Here, I just had Pelletier up here. This is one of our opens. Buy setup weekly, made the turn. So that looks good to add over yesterday's high, and also do a put spread. Let's see, Raul, who's our buy setup expert. HOM. That's not a symbol, Raul. At least one that I'm not getting. There's not many earnings here. There's a little penny stock getting killed. Hit. One of these froze my chart pre-market, so I don't want to hit it again. I have to look at this climb up. It's the momentum is down. So, the climbos that we like, here, compare these two. I mean, they're all over the place. I mean, Hilton, you want fluid bars down that escalate from the 20. ALK, so look, this is clean. Fluid bars, nice rounded bottom at the 200. So airlines, cruise ships, leisure, still look good to me for a bounce. But what I wanted to show you was see how this one's not a good climb up. That's friggin' panic. Falling out of a, this thing has to go into the emergency room come out and recovery. So that's a very bad one. Getty, possible bottoming pattern, but that's a mess. All right, I'm not hitting that fin V. That's the one that froze my computer. Kodak. Do y'all remember? I mean, this really was Eastman Kodak. Do you remember? It's from the Dow. This used to be a Dow 30 stock and could not keep up with technology. Greg, I'll bet there's people in this room who've never heard of Kodak. Kodak, ooh. This is when they had friggin' Polaroid cameras and Kodak cameras, and then you had to send it in to the store to get your picture developed.
If you
So
scroll back that chart a few years, you don't have to now, it's getting late, but there was this time where that thing ripped higher and had something to do with cryptocurrencies.
no, that's exactly what I was leading into. So this chart has nothing to do with the old Kodak, but I guess they kept it as a a shell or whatever, and it's a different symbol, of course. But yeah, it was right here, right here. This thing said that they're going into crypto business, and that's what created that. Exactly right. It's actually a bullish, a bullish weekly and monthly, so I'm going to keep that on my list. H row 29, big old gap, but needs a pullback. This one 392. It's looks like an ADR the way it's trades, but maybe not. I don't know. But it could be a short-term exhaustion gap for a call spread. This one's an ADR or Chinese, EV stock. Now this is telling me this is going to be one of the survivors. Yeah, Robert, you know that song, remember? But this one I think is getting close to a call spread also. TME, $13. That's worth watching. That's daily, weekly, monthly, or just resting. Keep that on the list. Flock, recent IPO, little inverse head and shoulder right there. Gapping up to 25, so no pattern, but that's a nice intermediate term bottom. Tiger, that's not bad at all. That I like. Let's put Tiger right here. But I'm in no rush. But yeah, there's a number of these on the earnings list that are worth watching when the market stabilizes. Eaton. This would have been a nice pattern if it were opening flat or up a little bit. Let's it could turn into a bear gap that bullies. I'm gonna set an alarm at 15:30. And if it does recover, then that's a 30-minute high candidate. ALGT alarm went off. Here's another Climo that's making a multi-bar turn. I don't see any prints though up here. I have that in the bottom right little chart. So that I've been watching for a couple of weeks now. A wolf potential bottoming pattern. A little 1, 2, 3. So that looks good over yesterday's high. I have an alarm at 610. Soon also another little bottoming pattern, but selling off here today. I actually sold a $9 puts yesterday, so that's going against me a little bit. So American Climo, Delta Climo. Climo's everywhere still. RCL cruise ships. Climo and then went sideways. So closing breakouts. CCL, NCLH. These are all put spread ideas. I actually sold the 19s on this yesterday myself. Aside, we did a put spread yesterday, and the premiums were so high. I put out a little warning saying, you know, there's no gifts on Wall Street. There might be pending news, but I'm not a researcher. I'm not looking for it. You go look for it. Let me set new alarms here. But if we get a 1, 2, 3 on this, then I like it as a directional. And then that would be perfect timing. Get rid of the Fed on tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock announcement. XYZ and a downtrend, but got an upgrade. Remember, this used to be, yeah, it's block. Block. Does anybody know why they changed their symbol? I mean, unless you give me a good reason, I think that was stupid. So he runs with PayPal, doing nothing, consolidation and a downtrend. All right, that's earnings. That's that. I just had another alarm go off on comp. This is making the turn over multiple weeks. Look, if I were to take off the candlesticks, what would you say about this chart? You would say it's bullish. Take 20, 50. It's not extended, it's bullish. Buy, you'll say buy with compelling patterns. And that's what we might be getting right now. So that's going on my tier 1. That would be a nice 30-minute high. Give us some time to assess the 4 horsemen, if they're going to stabilize or go into a tizzy. All right, these are just all left over from yesterday. We've got 2 minutes to go. JD, there's a number of Chinese stocks that look great. Look at K-Web. Look, daily, weekly, monthly. China has inherent risk because the Communist Party can spook them. All right, JP Morgan making the turn. We did a put spread yesterday, gapping down a little bit. Let me set new alarms. 220, 232. MPW. Bull rectangle. I got an alarm at 6:07, I think. But bullish daily, weekly, monthly. Let me check my alarm real quick. I'll set it at 6. Oh no, I didn't have an alarm. A SI up alarm. Oh, so this one we got into yesterday. Another beautiful turn from a bottoming pattern. All right, Asai up gap. Let me set a new high alarm. Yeah, market style starting out weak here. Okay, that comp COMP gap down now. So false alarm. I'll just reset the alarm and not worry about it. Oh. Yeah, wow. There's Meta and Amazon and Google, or Google's buying a company, but their 15-minute charts look horrible. All right, 9:10 new alarm. All right, that looks good. SMR alarm. It was a little potential bottoming pattern. All right, my low alarm went off, but we're not in it. AD line negative 800. AAL. Yeah, there's a lot of good climbos in this leisure sector. S block alarm. All right, we bought calls on that yesterday. May reset the alarm. S block our stop. 1588. So that's far away. Banks holding well. 15-minute chart of banks look great. The best, well, gold, but gold's extended. Maybe that's it on alarms. We sold our Berkshire pre-market and wow, look at the strong 15-minute chart. Tigger, middle chart there is moving, but moved too much. ALGT. All right, that was a false alarm. Let me reset my alarm 5480. Yeah, we're still weak here, so no longs for me. We are in management mode.
Expedia is strong. That could be a buy intraday trade pullbacks.
Yeah, I actually had that as a put spread in the weekend letter, and then I canceled it because it was too spready. But that's another clean Climo. But yeah, definite. Yeah, definite candidate for day trading. Relative strength.
User on some significant support here intraday.
Yeah, I don't need an LGT. Let's put Expedia there. Yeah, looks great. Qs. Yeah, that daily sure looks lower to me now. All right, I have nice open gains. My spider naked puts. I'm gonna go ahead and kill them. I'll just, I'm not gonna turn, I got a nice gains, I'm just killing them since my bias has now changed from yesterday in terms of, 3, 4 days up, whatever. Take the money, reduce inventory. Hey, this MPW I had on my list yet. Oh, yeah, it's holding well. Yeah, this could be a 30-minute high. Decent. Low alarm. No reason to kill it because it's on support. The breakout failure topping tail is not good bar by bar analysis. Set new alarm 940. Some bar. All right, nothing. MPW, Pelletier. My only guess is that's Trump talk again, and no confidence with tariffs again. And I read in the journal, he's really pissing off a lot of people with immigration. There was an
Who
article.
cares?
Well, I'll tell you why. Because the word immigration is a very
The
broad.
what then?
The
The what?
word, when you say that, it's extremely broad. He's going after people with green cards and that are here legally. And, this legal married couple went to Peru for a birthday and came back and they detained the wife. So it's not, I'm all for going after criminals, 100%. But it's like, man,
Well,
don't you have enough to do? And now you're going after people here legally that
well,
minor.
legally is wrong, of course. I don't know how true that is, or whether it's just some bullshit propaganda.
What
But
do
I
you
don't know
mean?
why they're not going to these places where people are staying in nice hotels and cleaning them out.
Like, once again, Craig, you're talking about two different categories. Take Anna. She's here. I support her. She's a nice woman, doesn't bother anybody. And now her legal status is threatened. Why? She doesn't, why? She's here legal under permit.
I don't know. My wife was here legally too when she came here 30 years ago, and you know, There was no Trump, there was nobody, and things were difficult. And I don't know what happens. It's a rough thing.
All right. All right. So all I'm saying is the article was saying he's going after many other people. All right, let me focus here. I got all alarms. Oh no, one left I didn't get to. AIG, up alarm. Look at that beautifulness. I was just about to go through opens. We already have break even stop, so I'll leave it. Hey, CBS. Remember, we've been watching that for a week and a half. Hold on, let me get this fixed first. AIG, up alarm, about 85.30. CBS. Like I said yesterday, I am not buying the initial breakout on this. But if it closed right like this, it looks fantastic. Maybe 30-minute high if you wanted to do a third lot. But we'll keep an eye on it over there. PFG, up alarm, very nice. Look at that 15-minute chart. That is amazingly strong 15. We have the 275. Midpoint is 13. Slow stop. 83.
The highest volume strike so far today in SPX is 5,600. It's within striking distance. If it should get there, there's enough premium at 5,500 and even 5,540. And if it hits 5,600 with a tick extreme, that would be a great setup.
Keep us posted, please.
Keep it posted.
Yeah, tell me when you're doing it. I got enough to do.
Well, people in the room can do it. I'm not going to give whatever.
No, but
That's the setup. That's
give
the
me.
setup.
I know. I'm asking you for a verbal when it sets up. I can't watch everything.
I don't know. I don't know. SPY, Dan. I don't know how.
It don't matter, Greg. The same time. Just tell me when it's
All right.
SPX. That's all I care about. I can't watch everything. All right, PFG. Let's see. Our first third target 84.50. Ooh, it made it by a penny. Look at that, Greg. The high of the day was spot 51, and our first third target spot 50. That is good. Yes, Grammy, that's what he's starting out. Yep. Munster. Munster. Yeah, I'd like it to close like this, but nice 15-minute chart too. Yeah, Tiger had earnings though, so I didn't chase it. I sold puts on this wolf yesterday, the 550s, and that's going against me here. This one we did a put spread yesterday.